So, do you ever just get a dumbass idea in your head and you're like, heck, why not? That's kind of what I'm doing right now. So, yeah, weird things to try in resin. We've seen my dryer sheets, and everybody in the house right now, well, not everybody, but a lot of people in the house right now are a little bit under the weather. Because of allergy season and whatnot. And so I have decided, since there seems to be an abundance of it in the house at the moment, to experiment with Kleenex. It's just generic brand facial tissue. And I have torn the edges off, much like you do with decoupage. Just to give it a more organic look. I am using both plies. So yeah, I have my little 4-inch coaster mold here, and I have about, I guess, 80 mil of my regular Fuitim 1-to-1 medium here that I'm going to use. So yeah, Kleenex. I don't know what it's going to do. Kleenex is like really fragile. It disintegrates. How many times have you blown your nose through a Kleenex? Come on. So I'm just gonna try it, see what happens. If it looks like crap, then okay. If it dissolves completely in the resin, okay. If it doesn't, then hey, we'll see what happens. So I want to test the size that I have here, because I know that this is going to soak up resin and it is going to flatten out, and it's going to probably do all sorts of weird things, but you never know if you don't try, right? So let's try to make it aesthetically pleasing if we can. I do want to leave it a little bit big because I want the little folds. And also, since it's going to soak up the resin, I want it to have room to, kind of do its thing. So, how does that look? Does that look okay to everybody? Here, let me move you in. Does that look okay? Yeah? All right. All right, so Kleenex in resin. Should I color it? Should I color the resin slightly? Or should I just leave it clear? I feel like I kind of want to color it. Just a tiny bit, just a skosh. Just a smidge, just a suggestion of color, just a mild hint of something interesting. A gossamer, if you will, coloring of awesomeness. Should I do a metallic? What do you think? Metallic? Or I dug the red copper. I'm going to try the red copper. It's my About Alcohol Ink brand in red copper. Metallic inks. I'm not going to add much. I'm just going to add enough to, give it a sheen, give it a sparkle, give it a, who knows, 1, 2, 3. All right. And that's all I'm going to add, because I still want to be able to see the Kleenex through it. It's not actually Kleenex brand, but how when you're talking about something and the name brand is just sort of what you use. It's like people say, hey, do you want a Coke? Even though you might hand them a Dr. Pepper. Kleenex is just one of those things, like Q-tips. If you want a cotton swab, people normally say, oh, I need a Q-tip. It's just brand names are kind of what we use. So yeah, so that's a nice little, just a hint of color, not much, but enough to, see a delineation between the resin and the tissue. So, and I am pouring the resin over the tissue. Why? Why not? It's an experiment. So here we go. let's pour some resin on a piece of Kleenex. And see what we get. I want to get all the little corners of the Kleenex that are sticking out. Make sure it's nice and moist. Let's scrape out our cup. And you can all, I bet you guys are smart, man. Everybody that is in this community is freaking genius. You guys know better than to try to torch this. Why? It's paper. So I wouldn't even use a long neck lighter because it's paper. So yeah, probably not the best of ideas to use that. So I will be just using alcohol to get any surface bubbles out of this. So let's do that. So I am going to kind of squish down because some of them are sticking up. It doesn't really matter. I'm probably going to end up putting a back coat on this anyway. But just for, you know, grins, I'm going to go ahead and try to get everything under water, under resin, under. And I can't tell, honestly, if there are bubbles or if it's just the gossamer-ness of the Kleenex under there. I really can't tell because if you press it, nothing's really coming out. It's just going flat. So I think it's just how the Kleenex is laying. So we're going to go with that. Yeah, okay. All right, so I'm going to let this cure, and then we're going to put on a back coat and see if this beats Project Dryer Sheet in the cool lookingness department. So I will see you guys soon. Okie doke. So it's time for our back coat. I have 2 ounces and change, not even 2 ounces, about 50 mil of my resin here, and I have added some red resin pigment because I want it still, you know, fairly translucent, but still, you know, enough color to make a difference. So I'm just going to pour this on. And yeah. Here we go. Okay, there we are, all covered. So we will let that set. And do its thing. Just getting everything out of my cup, make cleaning up easier. All right. Spray it with alcohol. See you soon. Okay, the moment we've all been waiting for. How does Kleenex turn out in resin? Dun, dun, dun. All right, so you can see The red turned out really nice. You can still see through it. It's nice and translucent. Give you some of those noises. Yeah, you're welcome. All right, so let's see. Looks like I've got a couple of bubbles, but I'm okay with that. I'm not concerned about bubbles. This is an experiment, folks. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Huh. Okay. Well, I see some promise here. You know, bubbles notwithstanding. Look. Look at the effect. That's very chiffony. Excuse me. That is actually really, really cool. Okay. Okay. I see some promise here. I see promise here. You can see, if I put my hand behind it, you can see it a little bit better. I see some promise here. Yeah. So, Kleenex works. Kleenex works. We just got to work out the bubble issue. And that's easy enough to work out. Next experiment, I'll try putting the resin in first and then the Kleenex. But overall, I dig that effect. So, yes or no? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you on the next one. Take care, guys. Cheers.